The second negative made a point that the warrant for the traffic search was an illegal warrant, and the routine traffic search warrant was an illegal warrant that was out of date and didn't exist, and that takes more precedence over there actually being illegal evidence in the victim's car, or the accused car. The problem with this is that the officer themselves have no way of determining on that spot whether or not the warrant is in date and legal. They only see that there's a warrant, and their job is to act on warrants that they see. In this case, the officer would have been in good faith, as the good faith clause was saying, to be able to search this person's car with their knowledge with a legal warrant. He was stating that since it was illegal, he shouldn't have been able to search the car at all, but he would have had no way of knowing whether or not the warrant itself was illegal at the time it was at. The second negative also states that the affirmative side fails to account for how the fines will protect civil rights of people. The fine itself is supposed to serve as the deterrent for officers violating the exclusionary rule, because at the moment there stands no deterrent. As stated by Marcia Shine in the Federal Criminal Law Center, she states that without a penalty or any other kind of repercussion for violating your Fourth Amendment rights, there is nothing stopping or even slowing down a police officer from going back out the streets and doing the same thing to somebody else. If there is no deterrent for the exclusionary rule that is viable enough to prevent large amounts of officers from violating the rule, the officers will keep violating the rule without any kind of negatives or slowdowns. As a whole, the exclusionary rule is flawed as it is. It has too many exceptions to it, even exceptions made and mandated by the Supreme Court for it to be a valid tool to prevent Fourth Amendment breaches effectively with enough deterrent on the officers to stop further breaches from happening. Additionally, the fine system would indeed provide enough deterrent for the officers and for the people to have reason to not violate the exclusionary rule, whether or not it was intentional or not. It would provide an example for other officers to follow that haven't violated the rule, and that alone would, if the fines were enough, that alone would create a further deterrent, saving both the innocent people from being unlawfully searched and arrested. To conclude, the exclusionary rule as it stands is flawed, and adding a fine and replacing it with a similar system that punishes based on fines would protect the Fourth Amendment rights of the people and protect civil rights as a whole more effectively. Thank you.